check out these beautiful Dollar Tree DIYs. If you love making home decor on a budget for just a few dollars, today's video is just for you. We're going to show you how you can turn some simple Dollar Tree items into high-end home decor. Let's jump in and get started. These candle holders from Dollar Tree are pretty cool, but I think we can do it a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do here is rip off the top part that actually holds the candle, and that's the piece that we're going to be using for this craft. After breaking that off, it is pretty rough, so I'm using a file to kind of sand that down and smooth off those rough areas. And then I'm going to use some sandpaper to go around the whole piece. That way it roughens up the surface and makes it easier for our spray paint to adhere to. After you've sanded that down, we can go ahead and paint it. So I'm just going to be using this spray paint. It's the color Gold from Rust-Oleum. Next, we're going to take one of these wood cubes from Dollar Tree, and this is where you can customize it. I just wanted to go with a really nice stain look. This is Minwax stain in the color Early American. Stain the whole thing. Again, you could paint this or stain it any color you'd like. Once you're done with both of those pieces, we can go ahead and connect them. So I'm just using some hot glue, and I'm going to glue the candle holder onto the wood block. And that's really all there is. It's a super simple project, but I think in the end it looks very high end and can go with so many different decor options. This project is a lot of fun to make and really not that hard. I grabbed 4 of these wood plaques or hanging plaques from Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to be doing is gluing them all together to create a planter. So the first thing I'm doing here is gluing some of these cubes. Also, the tumbling tower blocks work well for this. So I'm going to glue these in the corners, and this is going to act as more surface area for us to glue all of these pieces together. Now, one thing you want to do here when gluing these first pieces, I made a mistake. I put it too close to the edge. You actually want to set these in a little bit from that smaller edge. You'll see later what we have to do there. We're going to be placing some wood there, and it got in the way, so I had to remove those and place them back a little bit. Next, we're going to start connecting all of these wood planks, and the first thing we're going to do here is run some glue in each corner so that we can attach those cubes. Now, if you tried to attach these with just that small strip you can see on the wood plank, that'd be very difficult and there's not a lot for it to hold on to. That's why we add these blocks or the tumbling tower ones as well. Both of them work great. Once you've given that enough time to dry, there is a little bit of gap, so we want to push that out and make sure it's even. So this is where we're going to add more support. So you can add these blocks here, push that out, and then run some glue, and I'm going to add a couple more blocks along there. That way it's going to keep it more in place. You're not going to see that bowing in. And we're essentially just going to create this same process all the way around to create our planter and glue each of these sides on there. Once we have all of our longer sides done, we can cut the ends for this. This is what our last plank is going to be used for. So you're going to use 3 of the full length, and then the last one we'll cut up here. So I'm just going to stick it in the side here and then mark that and cut both of them the same size. For the legs, we're going to be using these wood stakes from Walmart, and these are great for lots of different crafting ideas. And the first thing I'm going to do here is measure out 12 inches. That's just the length I decided to go with. You can definitely do that shorter or longer. So I'm going to mark it and then use that as a template, and I'll cut the other lengths the same as that one. Now for the little part here, I'm just going to hold it up to the planter that we have made, and I'm just going to mark it off the width and then cut 2 of those pieces. Okay, now that we have everything cut out and our planter made, we can move on to the fun part, which is bringing everything together and making a beautiful decor piece. So the first thing I'm going to do here is paint mine. So I decided to go ahead and paint it black. Now you can always customize your projects however you want. We love giving you ideas, but we also love to see what you do with our ideas and making them your own. So feel free to paint this any color you want or stain it. Now to finish everything up, we're gonna add our legs. So again, I'm adding some of these little cubes at the top just so that we have more support for the wood to adhere to instead of just that really skinny section of the wood plank. For the legs, I'm going to start with this middle piece, and I'm going to glue both of these on each side, and then I will go ahead with the vertical pieces to finish off those legs after. Once we've glued on our legs, that's it. We are done. And this is a really fun, simple project, but I think in the end, it looks really pretty and high end. You can use it in a lot of different spaces and with a lot of different decor styles. So we tried to not be wasteful with the things that we use, and I really didn't want to just scrap this base, so I was trying to think of something I could do. We're gonna go ahead and spray paint it gold, and then we're gonna grab one of these wood plaques from Dollar Tree and stain that. So I thought it might be kind of cool to use that base and this wood piece just as like a tabletop or shelf decor, and I think really it turns out pretty simple, but a high-end modern look at the same time. Once both of those are complete, I'm just going to attach it. So I'm going to slide that down through there, and then I'm just going to add some hot glue a little bit on the front and then quite a bit on the back to hold that into place. For this wall decor piece, we're going to be using some of these wood pieces from Dollar Tree and then one of these wood dowels. Now you can grab this at usually like a local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart even has some wood stakes that you could use for this as well. This piece is just a scrap one, so it's not any specific length. I just saw it and wanted to use it for this project. The first thing that I'm doing here is just trying to space these out as evenly as possible. So I'm going to start with the ones on the end first, and then I will put the middle one in, and I'm just eyeballing this to try and get it as evenly as possible. And then I'm going to start marking off these sections where these go. This is going to be for me to glue later, and I can kind of use it as a template so that I make sure that wood dowel goes in the same place as it was when I was setting this up. Next, I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach all of these pieces onto that wood dowel. Once we have those attached, we can move on to painting. I'm just going to be using this black paint and painting the whole thing. Now I want to let you know, when I went to hang mine, it was a little bit of a pain. My dowel was warped, so one side would sit flushly on the wall and the other one wouldn't, so I was constantly fighting it. I originally was just going to use some command strips, but that just wouldn't work with how warped it was. So what I did was just drill a couple holes and put some nails, and that worked just fine. That was pretty easy, so if you do it and you have that issue, you can always just drill those holes and use some screws or nails. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.